Are you sure this is where it's supposed to be at?
Hold on. It says right here under the big ass tree, Ryan.
Okay, well, let's keep. Wait a minute. I think. Okay, pull it up. Here we go. Pull it up. All right, open it up. Shut it. The fuck is that?
It's supposed to be everything we've ever dreamed of.
You think you're ready for this?
I don't know. It seems pretty intense.
Okay, enough with the cliches, but go ahead and open it.
All right, here we go.
Oh, shit! Fucking bright! God! What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Cologne podcast.
I'm Myke.
And I'm Ryan.
And we're just two best friends. We're going on a journey. We're smelling fragrances, and we're giving you our uneducated opinion.
That's right. And what do we have for them today?
We have Dolce Gabbana's The One Intense Gold Eau de Parfum for men.
Good Lord. I think isn't it the One Gold Eau de Parfum Intense?
Oh, is that how it is?
Yeah, it's intense after the Eau de Parfum.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Sorry.
Well, I never claimed to be a professional. Right?
Off air, he definitely does.
I'm like, I'm the professional, you suck. Let me tell you what Daddy Parfum has to say
Okay.
on Fragrantica.
That is a badass name. I'm legit jealous of that name.
If it's not already taken, I'm going to get Parfum Daddy. He says, do we really need another synthetic, top-heavy citrus fragrance? No, we do not. The One Gold is like D&G's clothing, boring and underwhelming. Please save your money and go buy one of Zara's fragrances, which are definitely better blended than this stuff for a fraction of the price.
Zara?
Yeah.
Is he referring to Zarahoff or a different?
No.
Another brand?
There's another brand named Zara. I actually think we do have a fragrance on the board that we'll be doing for them. They did according to YouTube, one of the better Aventus clones.
Really?
Yeah, it's called Vibrant Leather, I think.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's weird to call it that, but it's one of those ones that people are like, it was so cheap and people went crazy and bought it up and then nobody could get it.
Wow.
After that. So that's what YouTube said.
Okay, we may have to dabble on that in the future then.
But now we need to dabble on our one night stand review of Penhaligon's The Impudent Cousin Matthew.
All right. Did you say impotent?
Yeah. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Yeah. One night stand review.
Okay, Myke. After staying the night with a very flaccid duck,
Okay.
what's your one night stand review on this thing?
I mean, when you put it like that, I can't imagine it would be too great. I mean, it was okay. I kept coming back to it really did smell like Neroli Portofino. Like so much so I couldn't stop myself from saying it over and over again.
Yeah, you kept mentioning it like 20, 30 times.
Something. Yeah.
It's not a bad smell, though. It smells really good. I liked it.
It does, but it has got a hefty price tag for...
And what was it compared to Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford? Because, I mean, they do, if I'm being honest, they do smell almost one to one. They're so alike.
It is. There's like something on the bottom, it's got a little stinky bottom to it that isn't...
Which one?
The Impudent Cousin.
Okay.
For me.
Yeah.
I mean, I was picking up a little stank,
Okay.
you know? That old school stankiness.
Which I can get down with.
Yeah, I can't. But for that, and I think the price was at like 300 bones for like a 50 mil, right? Or 70 mil.
So the Penhaligon one?
Yeah.
And how much is Tom Ford, do you think?
It's got to be somewhere around that for a 50 mil.
Man, I don't know on longevity. I can't remember how well it was or not. I mean, it was kind of there. It's kind of, I guess it was almost similar to Portofino. It was just kind of,
About the same, I think.
Yeah.
Which is funny that we just unearthed an old episode that had Neroli Portofino as the one night stand review. And we were saying, I mean, that's been quite a few weeks back that we did that one, but we were saying it burns out pretty quick. Same thing with this. So I don't know if it's just like the makeup of the fragrances that make it burn out that quick when you have like these warm citrus notes that kind of start off you know, I don't think even Penhaligon's I don't want to keep having to say Impudent Cousin Matthew, but I don't think that one even lists a neroli note or an orange blossom note. I actually think it was mandarin, right?
I think so. I don't know. But it definitely smells similar.
Who cares when it comes to the notes? It smells like it smells, but for whatever reason, that makeup, it kind of burns out quick.
But I do want to say this, and I don't want to give away the fragrance because we're going to do an episode on it here in the near future, but I do think we need to be hesitant when we say stuff doesn't wear long, for us at least. And again, we've kind of always said, hey, everybody's skin is different. Everybody's, their noses are different. How they smell things are different, because I had something on the other day with my wife. I already told you that story, but I had something on with my wife the other day, and I legit could not smell it. And it had been hours since I applied it, for real.
Yeah.
And when I say hours, I mean like seriously, probably like 6-7 hours. It was a good long time. And we went to an ice cream shop.
Oh.
And they were like, man, one of y'all smells so good. And I was like, trying to be cool. I was like, playing it off. I was like, well, it's probably my wife. And they're like, no, probably you. I said, well, my wife's right here, so maybe not say it that way.
Yeah. They're like, ooh, you look more delicious than this 5-scoop waffle cone. They're like, reading back your order.
Yeah. But yeah, so take us with a grain of salt.
I was going to say, to piggyback off that, Forbes had to drive to my house yesterday because my truck's in the shop.
Yeah.
And he came and he actually brought all his stuff to give me a haircut. He drove like an hour, by the way.
That was nice of him.
Dude, I love you, Forbes. I know you're listening. You're a huge fan. But he drove all this way and he came in and I'm like, what are you wearing? That smells great. And he said, you'll never believe this. I've been wearing it all day. It was Elysium.
Really?
And normally it's like that gets pretty soft quick. Yeah. Now, I did kind of give him a hug when he came in, but whenever I smelled it, I was like, man, that smells great. And it just goes to show you, too, that things just smell different on different people.
They do.
Because I couldn't really put my finger on what it smelled like, but I was like, damn, that smells good.
Yeah.
He's like, it's Elysium,
Dang, man. Yeah, so we can give you our opinion about it, but at the same time, take it with a grain of salt, because I think just there's so many factors.
Yeah.
And again, that's also on the other spectrum of that. While you'll hear me say it, I cannot stand when people are like, this is a 12-hour banger or whatever the fuck, just because who knows?
Yeah.
It could be whatever on anybody. But that being said, Penhaligon's thing, it was a really good fragrance. I really did enjoy it. Probably something I wouldn't throw that much money down for it. Definitely worth the sample, though.
Worth the sample. And this really gets into, now that we're doing video, kind of into it. But with us doing the decants, all we're doing is comparing the juice and like the experience of the actual fragrance. Like there's nothing else other than we were talking about the cool duck head and we're like, it looks pretty badass.
Yeah.
But just comparing the juice, it makes you really consider the price tag on certain fragrances.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what am I actually getting out of the fragrance? More than just like, wow, this box is really nice. Wow, this bottle's really nice. We can see pictures of it, but since we don't have it, when it comes down to the juice and then we read it's $300, it's like, man, it's a good thing. I'm glad we do it this way.
Yeah, I am
because
too.
When it comes down to it, like I said, 90-something bucks and I got that Neroli Portofino Aqua.
Yeah.
And knowing that that's out there and I can get that, I'm not going to buy the Impudent Cousin Matthew.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
And now, Ryan, let's get into our scent of the day.
The One Gold Eau de Parfum Intense
by Dolce Gabbana.
You want to hit it up first?
No.
Okay.
You go.
And just so you and the audience are aware, I am a man with no fragrances on today.
Same.
I wanted to go into this one clean. This is a brand new fragrance. It's been out for like a month and a half or so. There you go. Ooh. Interesting.
I am picking up some of that The One DNA.
I don't know what yet. I don't think I'm getting the One DNA. It smells like something extremely familiar to me, like crazy familiar.
Yeah, it smells like, to me, a little bit of 1 million, like a citrusy 1 million. So maybe like 1 million Lucky.
God, well, I think I know what it is for me. I might be rehashing some nightmares for Myke here. Dude, this opening is pretty close to Tommy.
Oh, no, it is not.
Dude, yes,
You're just trying to do a throwback now. You being serious?
Do we have it in there or not? Or do I have it at the house?
Yeah, I think you have it at the house.
Fuck.
Now. Yeah, Ryan, always trying to take things home with him.
Dude, this shit's Tommy, dog.
No, it's not. You don't want to give him a mustache ride this episode, Ryan?
No mustache rides today. That's Mike's mustache. You notice it sounded a little bit more impotent.
Oh, Lord. You got me. Who's using the word of the day calendar now, right?
Oh, God.
So, yeah, so just trying to break this down, it's kind of bubble gummy or like sweet, I'm smelling, but there is citrus on top.
I can get behind you somewhat on it. It just seems very 90s fucking young men, boy cologne-ish.
It does smell a little 90s to me.
It does.
Because it's got that hairspray kind of vibe in it.
Yeah, and I'm not saying this as a negative per se. It just smells ridiculously familiar to me, so I'm not like blown away.
Tell me, does your skin smell way different than the card?
Not only does it smell way different, it smells better. The card, I can't hardly smell it. It smells a little funky.
To me, the card smells the more bubblegummy, sort of reminds me of the 1 million sort of a thing. The citrus on the skin has gone quick. It was really nice whenever it first sprayed out. I kind of liked having that citrus.
I don't know, dude.
Well...
Yeah. All right, we're done, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
That's what that shows you right there that it's just not like, I don't know.
Blow your mind.
Yeah, just because we're just kind of like, what was for lunch?
Right. Well, I know breakfast was donuts. Let's talk about the trend a little bit, because I think this goes to show you about the fragrance.
Yeah, when it first released, trended like freaking NASDAQ. And then now it's like Enron. It's collapsing within itself.
I think that's because it was hyped. It's the same thing. They always do this with like the flankers or whatever.
Yeah.
It starts off strong because the one was such a popular fragrance.
And it is a badass fragrance.
And it delivers.
Which we haven't reviewed the original, the one Eau de Parfum. Yeah.
No, but we have it and we can.
Okay. We need to do that one.
But with this, I feel like, yes, it gets the hype at first because it's the flanker of one of, the greatest panty dropper date night fragrances of all time. I mean, if you go to any YouTube channel right now and you search top 10 compliment, top 10 date night, top 10 gonna have sex for sure. It's
with yourself
at least. You may spray it on, get so turned on you cancel the date and you just spend all night self-care. But when it comes down to it, this one is kind of boring.
It is. Speaking of YouTubers, Curly Fragrance, she's the curly blonde one, not Curly Scent.
She blonde?
She's kind of blonde hair. Yeah, Curly Fragrance.
Oh, I thought she had like reddish.
Maybe, I don't know. Strawberry blonde hair. Okay. Okay. She gets it ombre. I don't know, dude. She's got blonde freaking hair and it's curly. That's all I know.
Okay, man.
That's all I know.
Calm it down. Calm it down.
And we're guilty of watching that channel just because.
Oh, lump me in there. Yeah, we're guilty.
Dude, we laugh at it. It's funny. She does a lot of good memes with like whatever she's like talking about. But she reviews the one EDP all the time or mentions it in some of her top 10s. But the irony of it is, it's like her and other people kind of alike say that it's amazing and women love it. They go crazy, right?
Yes.
But only if they get a whiff of it, because you have to be like nostrils on their skin.
Is that right?
Pretty much. They say you can't hardly smell it from a distance at all.
I've only worn it a couple of times.
And funny enough, this at first was kind of, I couldn't really smell it from the skin, but it's kind of popping on the skin right now.
Yeah, maybe that's where the intense comes from.
Maybe, because it's starting to pick up a little bit since we've been jacking off over here.
This isn't that bad. It's not a bad fragrance. I don't know what I was expecting. I guess I was expecting to open it up and to have glory shine down upon it, hear the angels singing, and be like, if the one EDP is the bee's knees, then the one gold intense has to be the bee's wings. I don't know.
Todd, save that.
That's going to be, hey, pull up one of those times that Myke made himself sound like a complete idiot.
Bring the audio with us when we get Myke checked in, okay?
The bee's wings, perhaps? I'm just trying to keep this PG. I could have said like the bees.
It needs to be more elevated. That's kind of what you're going with. I agree.
I just assumed gold, I mean, unless they're going to come out with the one platinum edition or diamond edition.
Yeah.
But as far as the one gold goes, I'd figured this was The jam, baby. Michelle Pfeiffer, that white gold.
Yeah. It doesn't smell bad. It smells really good. I mean, I guess if you kind of break it down with this too, because we haven't talked about it, it's $98 for a 3.3 ounce.
Yeah, that's typical.
I mean, it's not too expensive. So, I mean, kind of knowing that, but at the same time, it just came out and we're going into fall and it doesn't feel like a fall fragrance, if I was going to be honest.
It does to me. It smells like if they took Paco Rabanne's 1 million and mixed it with the one. That's what this smells like to me.
Now that you're putting it in my head, it's like, I don't know. I'm getting that a little bit.
Yeah, it just smells really sweet and just like back down a little bit on the spice.
No, I get the spice kick. That's why I feel like it feels like it's just a 90s generic summer cologne to me.
Yeah.
I'm not like blown away, but I'm not disgusted by it.
If we rewinded 50 episodes to the One Intense, I believe we were kind of the same way with it.
I think we were even more harsh on that one.
You think so?
Yeah, because it was just kind of, it's all right.
Well, this one's kind of, it's all right too. Are we becoming niche snobs? Is that what's happening?
I don't think so, because there's, like I said, there's a few that I've been wearing recently that are fucking cheap.
Yeah.
My niche stuff that I do have, I hadn't even bought on my own. It's been you and my wife have bought me something. I wear those sporadically.
I know, but I just mean the excitement of the episodes. You may not own big, juicy bottles, but we're smelling a lot of them. And this was a concern I had when we started this, and maybe we just need to quit this podcast and never do another episode.
Sure.
I'm obviously kidding. But my big concern was, how much harder are we going to be on fragrances the longer we go and the bigger Rolodex we build of sampling fragrances?
Well, I mean, I think it's inevitable to happen, but I mean, that's just the reality. It's going to happen. You're going to build up a knowledge of, well, I kind of like this and I kind of don't like that.
I think we propose the question to friends of the podcast. Email in thecolonepodcast@gmail.com. Do you think we're getting to a point where we're unable to just let a fragrance stand alone and judge the fragrance based on itself? Because I told you my concern after we did the last episode of The Impudent Cousin Matthew by Penhaligons.
Yeah.
I said, I've noticed, at least in myself, here's what I do now. Oh, this smells like Neroli Portofino. Oh, this smells like the one mixed with Paco Rabanne's 1 million. It's like, I feel like now I'm just comparing a fragrance to another fragrance.
And I get that, but I mean, if you tune into our very early episodes, even then, that's why I brought up it's going to be your nightmare me saying it, but even our early episodes, I'm like, man, it smells like Tommy.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's just going to be natural.
Since your Rolodex was smaller, you just kept comparing it to the same fragrance over and over again. Oh, this smells like Tommy. Oh, this smells like Tommy. 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 Oh, this bottle looks like Tommy's. Hey, this box could have been Tommy's. Hey, these jeans I'm wearing, Tommy's.
Oh, Lord. I'm like the exhibit of fucking fragrances over here.
Yeah, you're like, these overalls? Tommy's.
Well, I mean, I just think it's natural. You're going to say, oh, that's similar to that. I mean, and for us too, since the beginning, just because I don't smell this, like it's saying it's got whatever, bergamot. I still don't even know what fucking bergamot smells like. You know what, funny enough, me and my wife and kids, we went to go visit her brother this weekend.
And you went bergamot picking or something?
No, hell no. But he had some hand soap that you pump into your hand or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like lavender something else. I can't remember what it was. It was like lavender, something simple.
Yeah.
And when I think of lavender, I think it's supposed to smell a certain way, like pretty or whatever, but it kind of smells a little masculine.
Yeah.
And so like just thinking of that, I was thinking about that this weekend. I was like, man, I don't know what any of this stuff smells like. So it's like, I don't know.
Well, here's what we're going to start doing.
We're going to start learning. No, go ahead.
No, you're right. We're going to start doing the one-note shows.
Yeah.
Where we take an independent fragrance oil of, say, neroli or sandalwood or fill in the blank, lavender or patchouli or something by itself, just the fragrance oil. We're going to smell it and try to pick out that in the future and go, oh, okay, this is what sandalwood by itself smells like. Yeah. And then from there, we will kind of learn, because I'm with you on that. Yeah. I didn't really know what to expect. And then whenever you smell them by yourself, you're like, oh, then you start to kind of understand.
I still don't think we'll ever be, because there's some, I'm not calling anybody out. And hell, there may be people that are fucking idiot savants when it comes to fragrances.
Are you talking about people with the beagle noses that are like...
Yeah, they're like, oh, they sanded down the neroli and then they French pressed the ylang. Like, I don't know how they fucking tell that. Like, at the end of the day, it's all oil droplets dropped in a fucking beaker somewhere. Right. So it's just like, I don't know, man. It's no way you can tell that shit.
Well, I mean, I know there are a couple of YouTubers that are perfumers, so I'm sure they go, oh, I know what this needs. Just a little.
Yeah.
Of this. But the vast majority of them, I think they're doing what we're doing. They've just smelled so many different fragrances that they go, oh, this, because after a while you do kind of associate, neroli. Yeah, neroli is, about to break it down for them. Neroli, actually I heard about it we were at the scent room.
Yeah.
And the guy was saying neroli is orange blossom. It's just a type of extraction process to get the fragrance out of the orange blossom.
Yeah.
The neroli method or something. That's that note. But when you smell it alone, you're kind of like, whoa, that's wild.
It is. And man, it's funny. Like if I get close to this, it's hard to smell. But when I'm kind of away, maybe keep my hand at like half an arm's length, this thing smells good. I guess we really need to ask the question is, who's wearing this? Who's waking up, stepping out of the shower, whipping their fucking towel off, and then reaching for this beautiful, majestic gold bottle?
Probably a fucking fingerprint magnet.
Probably so. Probably so.
God, how old do you have to be before that's the type of stuff you're talking about?
I do hate shit like that.
Oh, man. Old ass men. That's what we are. Right? Who is wearing it? I don't know. When I smell it, it does smell kind of young to me. And
it does to me too.
I don't know if it's that bubble gum type vibe.
I do get the vibe of a well-dressed person, and it could be casual as well, honestly.
A young, well-dressed person. Maybe the Tom Holland. Maybe we're going back to it. I don't know if you saw Uncharted movies out, or it's going to be coming out.
I did not see that.
Yeah.
They've already filmed the movie?
I think there's a trailer or a teaser out with him. Tom Holland is, I guess the main character, and then Mark Wahlberg is the brother, I think.
Wow. That'll be interesting. I mean, I can't think of a video game that turned into a movie that I liked, but be interesting to see.
Yeah. I am excited about the Last of Us TV series.
God bless. For some reason, I was looking that game up the other day. That game, and we're getting really off subject, but I just got to say
it.
First off, that game caught a shit ton of flack.
Part 2 is what you're talking about. Last of Us Part 2.
For no reason, but hands down, one of the best gaming experiences, if not the best gaming experience as a single player I have ever played in my entire life. Blown the fucking way by that.
Story, everything.
Yeah, my wife doesn't even play fucking video games that much. And even she was like enjoying watching me play that game because it's so cinematic. The storyline was great, and the scares in that game were fucking out of control.
This could be a separate podcast.
Seriously, I could go into crazy detail on it.
And I am not a video gamer.
No, he is not.
At least I played that. I beat that game 3 times.
He was obsessed with it.
Because it takes you like 30 hours to go through the entire storyline.
Yeah. And for anybody that is on the fence about ever playing that game, is it only on PlayStation?
I'm assuming so, yeah.
Let me just tell you, if you have a PlayStation 4 or 5, you got to try that game, because even the part that people were really ham-boning about, getting pissed off, they're like the Abby character. But to me, as much as you love the main character, it makes you play this second character. But there's a part in that game where the developers brutalize the player for like an hour and a half on one mission.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're like, okay, oh my God, get a break. And they're like, nope, here's another straight hour of fucking work. And you think that wouldn't be enjoyable, but man, it's just so much pressure. Phenomenal.
It really is. And we got to get back to the fragrance. Yeah. But that is one that I could talk about forever. Freaking masterpiece.
Yeah, that is
unlike the one Gold Eau de Parfum Intense from Dolce Gabbana,
which is the opposite of a masterpiece.
It's like the Madden of...
Yes. It is definitely EA Sports over here.
Yeah.
It's the same dribble.
Recycled shit.
Yeah. Look, I don't give a fuck. I know we're not snobs. Look, we both wear cheap shit.
Yeah.
Give me something that's a little different. If not, I just don't care.
That's the thing is, pick your poison.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get into designer fragrances and you drop $100, there are a laundry list of fragrances that come really close to this scent profile.
Yeah.
Not that it's a bad one.
It's not.
I mean, it's the Swiss Army knife. You can use it. You can wear it to work. You can wear it out on a date. You can wear it when you're whatever, trying to seduce, a YouTube top 10 type of person. Apparently this works. But when we're, maybe I need to figure out what I feel like our job is here on the podcast.
It's to be us, man.
Well, I know that, but I mean, is it like art? Do we judge each piece independently? Or is it like a dog show? Where even though each breed and style and performance is different, it's still judged on a certain grade or criteria.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Let's skip all this bullshit. Let's get to it.
Okay.
Skip it.
Sample it.
Buy it.
What are you going to do, Ryan?
I mean, I'm personally going to skip it, right? But I'm going to say what we did. It's been many episodes ago, probably in the 20s or 30s.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
But we went through that stint where everything smelled like freaking Ultramel.
Yeah.
Or Ultramol, however you want to pronounce it. Everything we smelled, if it didn't matter who it was, it all had that same sweetness. Like it was like the Wanted by Night or whatever. If you had one of those, there's no point in getting it. So I don't know what to really compare this to. I think maybe you have a better grasp than me, but if you have something that already smells similar to this, if you go and smell this at the counter, then obviously, don't get it because it's too similar. But if you don't have something like this, you know what? Maybe this is right up your ass. I don't know.
It's not up mine. I think it is, now that you mention it, pretty close to Wanted by Night, too.
Do you feel that?
I do feel that. And it really comes down to what you're trying to do. I mean, do you want the bottle? Are you a D&G fan over a Nazaro fan or whatever? And this is the path you want to go down. But as far as it goes, there are so many fragrances. I feel like you can get on a discounter and get one of those fragrances that's been out for a few years with a very similar DNA at a cheaper price tag, if that's what you're after.
Yeah.
I know that if you're building up a collection, because we do have some listeners now that do have their own YouTube channels, or they're doing Instagram and they show off the bottles and stuff like that. Pretty slick looking bottle, I will say.
Yeah.
But if you're not after that, you're just after the juice, there's a lot of fragrances that are so similar to this for half the price.
Yeah. As well as Wanted by Night.
That's where we're at, I think. We're not really trying to amass a giant bottle collection. We are really just trying to smell and enjoy the fragrances. And if it was for me to say, on my own journey, am I going to skip it, sample it, or buy it? I'm skipping it as well, because I do still have a big old juicy bottle of Wanted by Night. It's so close.
It's a good smell.
That I don't really need this. Yeah.
No, I haven't smelled those other ones in a while. Just sitting here with my hand, because we spray this on the back of our hand. Yeah. My hand's sitting in my laps. Like, this shit is popping. I'm going to give it some kudo points for that. At first, it didn't feel like it was, but I can smell this pretty good, which is generally pretty hard when you're the wearer. But this thing is popping. So I'm just going to imagine that whoever walks by me today will probably lose their shit on it.
Probably, yeah. The average passerby will probably smell it and go, wow, you smell good. Yeah. If that's what you're after. I think the people that are listening really care about fragrances and probably already have something like this that you've already bought.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's probably going to be a skip for the majority of you out there if you're looking at your finances. Yeah. But if you just ran out of options, you have everything you could have ever asked for, and you're just dying to spend $98, I don't think it's a bad fragrance.
No, just either skip it or sample at this point. And if you sample it, go to Dillard's or Macy's, wherever they may have it. Just ask to sample it. Or if you want to go to myfragrancesamples.com, that's where we got this sample. This is a 5 mil, right?
Yes.
Okay. Go there, get you a sample of it. I mean, and if you do go there, you're going to get another. He usually throws on something else anyway. So.
Yeah, it's good. Or if you have already smelled it, or you want something, I think there's a partial of this up there too. You want the freaking fingerprint magnet of a bottle and the juice, well, then get the partial, you know.
I do want to say real quick, and then we'll jump off here. I think, and we should have said this earlier, shows you that we're a little rusty. I think this was made by 3 perfumers again. And it seems like for the majority of the time when we run into a fragrance that's made by 3 different hands, it's just too many inputs, I believe. And it doesn't ever really feel focused, if that makes sense.
See, I'm going to have to disagree with you, Ryan.
That's fine.
I think it's great, but it's just generic. It's not confusing me. It's not going all over the place. It just smells like 19 other decants we have in the other room. I mean, really.
Yeah.
So it's like not really something that I'm going to be clamoring to buy. Normally, whenever I start obsessing over a fragrance is when I smell something and I go, wow, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get into it where you want to buy it just because it's so different. Not even that you were like, wow, that smells incredible.
Yeah.
But you smell something, you're like, wow, that it was different. Or they take something that you already like and just take it way left field.
Yeah.
And you're like, there's something in there I like, but the rest of it makes it unique enough. I'll stand out.
Yeah.
If somebody's wearing 1 Million, Lamal, Wanted by Night, Spice Bomb, and then you wear this, you guys are 4 of a kind working on a full house or whatever.
We're sorry, guys.
Whew, man. It's almost like we shouldn't even release this one. I feel like this episode was just...
Oh, God. Kill me. No, these episodes, good or bad, they're coming to you, people.
They're necessary.
Yeah,
right?
I think they're necessary.
Yeah.
I don't think everything should be positive. That's another thing I should say, me personally, issue with sometimes the community is I'm not a fan of always propping shit up, man. If it don't smell good, whatever.
I think my biggest thing is this has been a huge letdown for me.
Good God.
I was excited to smell it.
I was too.
Because I know the one is, I mean, it is a badass fragrance and it was a trendsetter. Now that trend has been hacked to death and back.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I expected them to do something more with it. And this really does smell like a few different ones we've smelled, like so damn close.
Yeah.
What a letdown.
Well, speaking of letdowns, if you really didn't enjoy this show, make sure to let us know at thecolognePodcast@gmail.com. And another thing we ask is if you would love to support our show, we would much appreciate that. Hit us up at buymeacoffee.com/Cologne Podcast and let us know what you think or want us to smell something. Let us know. Anything you put there gets reinvested back into the show.
Yeah, you're able to leave a comment as well. So if you want to leave a review for other people to see, because it is kind of like posted up there, good or bad, we welcome it all as long as you give us money. You're welcome to say whatever you want to about us.
Let us know what you think about Mike's mustache ride today.
Yeah. Let me really set it off. You ready? That was pathetic. Hold on, no.
This motherfucker really tried.
I really did try.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Good job. Way to go, buddy. Hey, proud of you. It reminds me of that SNL skit, The Champ. You remember Jonah Hill?
Yeah. All the people are like letting him win and shit. Oh, Lord.
Okay, well, if you enjoyed this, hang out with us. And until next time, spray it up, y'all.